Have you ever called IT department? Perhaps your computer is not working, your printer is not working, or some of your devices in your office is not working, and you call them and they ask you to do certain things. One of the first instructions they tend to give you is to switch off your computer. Sometimes they might tell you to unplug it, plug it back in, turn it on, and restart the computer or restart the device. And guess what happens? It comes back as though nothing happened. And then you almost start to promise them that truly there was something wrong with your computer. It wasn't working, wasn't responding. And you thank them because the problem has been solved. That is for mechanical devices, electrical devices, this kind of devices that we ourselves as human beings have created and made. How much more us? We as mothers, we need to start to recognize something about ourselves. Sometimes we need to switch off. Sometimes we need to unplug. Sometimes we need to withdraw. Sometimes we need to retreat. And I am on such a retreat and such a journey at the moment. But I just thought before I leave, because I'm just about to leave this place of retreat that I've been to, I thought to say something, to give you this message, which is something that comes from my heart. Because right now, so beautifully, I have come on a journey. And most of the things that we go through in our lives are meant to contribute to that journey. That's the reason why we are encouraged not to live in the past, because then we're full of regrets and guilt and shame and everything else and sadness, perhaps some joy, but most times we don't dwell on the joy. And then we are also told not to live in the future because then we are worried, we are anxious, we are concerned, we are puzzled, we're not too sure if something would happen or not happen. And because of that, we get ourselves all worked up. But living in the present, enjoying the journey, enjoying the process helps us to be who we are. I am who I am today. And for those who do not know me, I'm Dr. Jenny. I'm the award-winning mom empowerment coach. I'm a family and lifestyle medicine doctor. I'm the host of the Wellbeing for Mothers show, best-selling author of the book, Every Mom is a Super Mom, and so many other things. But most importantly, I'm a mother. And I know what it's like being a mother and having so many responsibilities, but in the midst of all those responsibilities, having to show up, not just for your children, for work, or for your business, but for yourself. My journey started here, and my journey of discovery and uncovering myself in that dark moment when I was struggling with grief, the loss of my father, struggling with managing my life as a new single mother with children, and managing my career as well. So it was a lot of new things, a lot of pressure, and just being able to kind of go through all that and come out and say, ah, here I am. So the journey that has brought me here brought me back as I was celebrating the 10-year anniversary of my father's death. And in the process of doing that, I was meditating and looking back on the many days, weeks, months, years that have spanned since the day I heard that news till today. And how much has been done, how much has occurred, how much I have lost, how much I have gained, how much I have learned, how much I have grown, how much my children have grown, how much I have experienced, and how much I have achieved. And I cannot but say thank you. With gratitude in my heart, I turn to God and I say, thank you, Lord, for taking me through this journey. I know it was hard. It was hard. It was difficult. It was challenging. There were times I felt I wanted to give up. There were times I thought, is it even worth it? There were times I thought, oh my goodness, this is too hard. I don't think this has ever happened to anybody. But in the process of all that, every single hardship, every single hurdle, every single problem I encountered allowed me to gain skills and competencies that I was able to use at a different level. I don't know if you've heard the saying, different level, different devil. And that is really true because if you're trying to achieve anything in life, even if it's just to sleep today and wake up tomorrow, you know, all those very basic things that you just want to do, you need to make a change. But what equips you to be able to take care of tomorrow and to be able to thrive tomorrow or even survive tomorrow are the skills that you have now and the skills that you're going to acquire today. And so sometimes when we face challenges and hurdles, we sometimes think, oh gosh, this is the worst. And we just want to just collapse and feel sorry for ourselves. I want us to take a moment. You might need to unplug. You might need to switch off. What is that for you? Is it going away? Is it taking 5 minutes to meditate? Is it just switching off every device like your phone and just staying away from media? What is that for you? Is it getting a book and reading? Whatever that is for you, you need to take a moment to switch off. You need to take a moment to just unplug. Because when you unplug from everybody else's source, then you connect to your own source, recharge, and then come out and you can do a lot more. You can achieve a lot more. You can be a lot more. And so for that reason, it's my mission that you listening to me today would be able to say, look, I've had some tough moments. I've hit some brick walls. I have gotten to the point where maybe I would say it was rock bottom, but I'm able to go back, learn, acquire those skills, utilize those skills, and be a better version of myself. Because we are all advanced. Even our children. I remember when I heard the news of my father's passing, I was still breastfeeding my son. So that shows you how young he was. But now, grown up man, I'm like, whoa, check you out. And I can see a lot has transpired. And so you and I need to not focus on the past, like I said, not look and depend on our emotional needs from the future, but to be in the present. No matter how hard, how challenging, how wonderful, how beautiful it is right now, be in the present, be present in the present. Sometimes you might need to get yourself into a state of calm. And some people ask me, how is it possible that you are so energetic, so calm? You seem so happy all the time. I told them, no, I'm not happy all the time. You must not have seen me when I'm angry or I'm sad or I'm, terrified. Maybe you were, I don't know, somewhere else when I was feeling all those emotions. But one thing I want us to recognize is that we have been so blessed that the gift of life in our breath is the gift of calm that we've been given. It is also a gift to unplug. It's a gift to switch off. It's a gift to reconnect. It's a gift to thrive. And we need to use that gift. That gift of breath is always with us. As long as we're alive, our breath is with us. So we don't have to look for some external thing or go and contact some person to help us or to help us be calm or to calm us down. No, we can do it. But we have never really been shown how. I mean, school doesn't show you how to calm yourself down, doesn't show you how much power is in your breath. And we have also not been shown how to breathe. I mean, I'm I'm a doctor. I've never ever in medical school been told this is how you breathe and this is how you show your patients how to breathe. It's not in the curriculum, but in the process, and that's why I talk about the journey. In the journey of moving through grief and loss and pain and shame and guilt and everything else to where I am now, I've had to do a lot of self-development, a lot of reading, a lot of courses, a lot of coaching, and become who I am now, where I'm able to know that, yes, there's power in my breath, there's power in my words, there's power in the way I carry myself, the way I sit, the way I stand, the way I move my head, the way I move my hands. And all that knowingness that we need to be aware of, especially as mothers, is so important because when we do it, our children, even though we're not sitting down teaching them formally, okay, show me what to do, and we show them and we say, okay, do it after me. No, we're not doing that. Our children are watching us. They're seeing us. They're perceiving how we feel, what we're doing, how we're thinking. And they are such great imitators. They imitate what they see. If they see you terrified all the time, they will start to feel that terrifying sensation within themselves. Sometimes they may not even know why they're feeling that way. And I have to say, children are the best at making something bigger than it is. Have you ever heard a toddler tell you a story? They'll start with how big something is. Maybe you had children who told you, oh, mommy, there's a monster in my room, or I'm having a nightmare. And they describe how that monster or that nightmare is. And they tell you how massive and big and scary it is. They have a power of exaggeration, which of course we all are aware of. And when we are talking to them and asking them questions, we need to actually bear that in mind. Okay. So having said that, when our children see us say upset, they start to think about things that are worse than they are. Sometimes they'll say, oh, it's my fault. I'm not good enough. Maybe she doesn't wish it. Mommy is not happy that she has me. Maybe I should just vanish. I should just disappear. I should not even be here. And you'll be wondering, whoa, 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 slow down, little one. How come you're thinking about all those things? That's just a spiral down the rabbit hole. And it's just not even anything close to what I was thinking, what I was going through, what I was imagining. So very, very importantly, you and I, especially as mothers, need to learn to be present. And I'm going to show you one of the very important things that you and I can use in calming ourselves down, bringing ourselves to center, bringing ourselves to the present, and in that process, unplugging. And so, of course, I know some people are listening to this, you're walking the dog, or you're taking the kids to school, or you're driving. So if with the activities, don't worry, come back and listen to this episode again. Make sure you download and please do share. So, like I mentioned before, one of the key elements, a gift that we have, which is connected to our gift of life, is the gift to unplug, the gift to unplug and the gift to calm ourselves down. And that gift is the gift of stillness and breath. So for a moment, if you're not operating heavy machinery and you're not driving, and if you can, it's better usually if you sit down, or if you're stood up, just make sure you're comfortable. And you won't need to take a deep breath in. Okay, so we'll do it all together. And I'm going to use my fingers, but perhaps for those who are listening to the audio version, you might want to go over to my YouTube channel. I'll put the link in the description as well, so you can listen to this episode or watch the episode and see as I move my fingers, okay? So you want to take a deep breath in. And out. What I did there, for those who are listening to the audio, was when you were taking a deep breath in, you count 5. So count of 5 for the breath in. And when you're breathing out, count of 5 for the breath out. Okay. The idea behind that is that you're filling up your lungs. I'm talking from a medical, anatomical, and physiological point of view. Because when you breathe in, you're filling up your lungs, you're getting rid of all the dead space which occurs when we don't breathe deeply. Because unfortunately, like I said, we've not been taught how to breathe. Many people breathe like this. And they think that's the way to breathe. That's not the way to breathe. You need to breathe in deeply and fully. So when we breathe in deeply and fully, what happens is that we fill up our lungs. The oxygen that is then filtered from our lungs to our bloodstream to all parts of our body then get a rich amount of oxygenated blood. And when we breathe out, we're getting rid of the carbon dioxide that is manufactured and drawn back into the lungs out into the air. And that thoroughly empties out the air sacs that we have in our lungs. Then we can do that again. Apart from the physical, the physiological, and the anatomical benefits of breathing deeply, when we breathe deeply, our brain, a part of our brain that is helping to, pick up on stimuli, know whether it's dangerous or not, keep us alert, keep us on our toes, keep us alive, very importantly, goes, there is calm. Yes, this feels good. When you're panicking, if a lion were to enter this room, do you think I'll be sat down cross-legged chatting with you? Absolutely not. I will get up and run. I'll be looking for the nearest escape. My eyes will widen. And that's exactly what that part of our brain does. The amygdala is there to help us. And I mean, if our ancestors did not have the functioning amygdala, guess what would have happened? You and I would not be existing. Why? Because our ancestors would have died off, because they would have been calm where a lion is trying to eat them. And of course, they would have been eaten. So I know some people feel that, oh, I wish I didn't have this, stress response, but you do need the stress response. You do need the fight, flight, or freeze response. You do need it. I remember when during this holiday retreat session, I was walking with my children and we were about to cross in front of a gate. So it wasn't a road, but we were walking on the pedestrian path and I saw a gate and it was a gate leading to someone's house. I stopped suddenly and I put my hands out on both sides to hold my children from moving forward. Because at that point, I heard a sound that sounded like a car. I wasn't sure where it was coming from, but I thought it might have been coming from that compound coming out. And truly, it was the person in the car coming out of that compound who was moving pretty fast for somebody, just shifting out of a building. So I thought I held them back, and that was like a freeze response. So sometimes as mothers, we need to kind of freeze, don't move forward, don't run, don't fight, and then let that danger, let that um, thing that would have hurt us go its way. And then we continue on our merry way. Sometimes we need to get up and fight. Sometimes we need to run because we're not maybe strong enough, we haven't got the bandwidth, or maybe we just need some extra time to process what is going on. So our response of fight, flight, freeze is so important. So we should make sure we pamper it, we thank it. Remember, I started this talking about the gratitude I feel for the experiences I had, for the challenges, the hurts, the pain, the loss. Why? Because those single things that we all experience, as painful, as shameful, as hurtful as they are, they make us who we are, but they also build our character. They equip us with skills that allow us to be able to share with our children who are watching us, share with our friends, our colleagues, even strangers. I'm sharing with you from the experience I had and from the pain I felt. I'm sharing with you from what I've learned by reading books, by paying for coaching, by moving and being a devourer of information. I became an eternal student. I was always reading one book or the other. And because of that, one was able to pick up on these things. So please, if you don't like books, I think we need to start restructuring things. Some people don't like, picking a physical book and reading. If that's you, you might prefer an audiobook. Try it. Perhaps you're not very keen on the physical book. You might want an electronic book because, what do we do these days with media? We scroll, don't we? So you're constantly scrolling. So what if you're scrolling a book? Okay. So you're reading through, you're scrolling, and that's another good way of getting that information. Another good way is audiobooks. So I tend to use Audible. And sometimes when I'm driving, I'm walking, I'm doing my chores, I'm listening to a book. I go through 1 to 2 books in a week and I learn so much. Sometimes I need to reread, re-listen to books. And sometimes most of the audiobooks, like for example, I'm reading a book and the book I'm reading is Limitless. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's by my brain coach, Jim Quick. If you've not read that book, you need to read that book. It's a book that shows you that there is nothing you cannot do. It's a book that is very children friendly as well. So if you perhaps have access to an audio version of the book, it's got extra parts in there where Jim and Alexis, the co-founders of the quick learning enterprise that he's built, talk about amazing things. So if you haven't, please go ahead, get that book. what that book also helps you to do, because of course we all have our children at different stages, whether they have been nursery, primary, high school, university. It teaches you how to learn. It helps you to think about ways to remember people's names, have great memory. I mean, it's fantastic, especially in this digital age where our attention span is as short as that, shorter than that of a goldfish. Imagine that. That's awful. So we need to actually exercise our minds and exercise our brains. So definitely a book to get. So if you're wanting to perhaps get like audiobooks, by all means, I'll put a link as well in the description in terms of how you can just get in, listen to a book, and you might just say, wow, that's an amazing book. The first audiobook I ever listened to was Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, and I was sold. The moment I listened to that book on audio, I'm like, whoa, okay, I'm getting this. Okay, so, but anyway, these things that we learn on a day basis are such important things that we need to tap into, we need to hold on to, because you and I, we are so blessed. And by when I say blessed, I'm not talking from a religious point of view. I'm talking from a spiritual point of view, because you and I are spiritual beings having a human experience. And every single mishap, disadvantage that you probably talk or call a disadvantage, pain, experience is building our character. So today, I want you to think about what is one thing you can do to switch off, unplug, reconnect, to recharge to your source, so that when you turn up in the world, you'll be able to make a huge difference. I've told you about how you can breathe in deeply and breathe out deeply. I'll show you another way, still connected to your breath, where you can actually let go of stress. And this one you can do standing up. This is using the E sound. Now, I love Tai Chi, Qigong, and Eastern practices, which, of course, as a Western trained doctor, you'd be wondering, like, what? Eastern practices? How come? I didn't learn it. I grew interested in the practices because of how much they helped me. So this particular one was from my Qigong teacher, and I'm going to tell you what it is. You know how children, when they're having a tantrum, they kind of have this vibration movement that they do? Okay, I'll describe it audio and I'll do it on the video for those who perhaps will be coming back to the YouTube channel to watch this video. So there is a good sound that helps to release pent-up energy, and that's the E sound, okay? E sound. Now, when you are doing this breathing, you breathe in deeply and you exhale in bursts, like so you're not breathing out smoothly, or you're breathing in bursts, okay? And as you do that, you are lifting yourself on your tiptoe, landing on your heel, and shaking out as you do it, okay? I'm going to show you how to. So if you're listening to the audio, make sure you come to the video to watch it. Okay, so let me move my chair to the side. All right. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So we've got your hands to the side. I want you to take a deep breath in. Remember, count of 5. Come to the top of your toes, and then okay? I'm going to do that again. So breathe in fully, your hands to the side, come to the tiptoes, and then you're coming back and bouncing on your heels and making the he exhalation sound, okay? Let's do that together. Deep breath in. That breath released helps you to ground, because remember, you're bouncing and you're getting to the ground. But not only that, you're exhaling and releasing pent-up stressful energy. These are important practices you can do. You can even go into the bathroom. You've just had a meeting, it's stressful, it's annoying, some things were said. Just close your door, go into the bathroom. Nobody's going to tell you shouldn't go into the bathroom, lock your door. Take a deep breath in. And that is so refreshing. Now, for those who have done it, I want you to comment how you felt, okay? Tell me how you felt doing that, okay? So back to sitting. So I hope you've enjoyed today's session. I decided that it would be good for me to do it in such a way that it's not just hearing me, but having a practical way, because your breath is such a gift. It's a gift of life. It's a gift of calm. It's a gift to unplug. It's a gift to be centered. It's also a gift you can give anybody. And you see, your children would see this and they'll be able to do it themselves. These are simple things you can teach your children as well. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, download, and share.